So, what if you could make an electric car that was actually cheaper to buy than a gas car? That's the huge promise behind Tesla's 4680 battery. We're talking a massive, high stakes gamble that could totally reshape the car industry. But, when it first came out, it kind of looked like a dud. Let's break down why.
All right, so let's dive right in. What was this big mystery? Why were all these experts scratching their heads when this supposedly revolutionary battery finally hit the road?
I mean, seriously, this was the question on everyone's mind back in 2024. Tesla promised us the future, right? But the first bits of real-world data, well, they told a completely different story. Okay, let's just look at the raw numbers. Energy density, that's basically how much power you can cram into a certain amount of space. It's a super important metric. And here's the kicker. The brand new 4680 was actually less energy dense than the older, smaller battery it was supposed to replace. A step backward. So what on earth was going on? To really get this paradox, we have to look under the hood of how pretty much all EV batteries have been built for decades. And spoiler alert, it's a process that's messy, crazy expensive, and just incredibly inefficient. Yeah, it's called the wet slurry process. You literally take all the active battery materials, mix them into this toxic chemical soup to make a paste, then you paint that goop onto a thin metal foil, and you have to bake it dry in these absolutely gigantic ovens. It's a massive bottleneck for the entire industry. And when I say gigantic ovens, I mean it. They are so big that if you could just get rid of them, you would shrink the factory floor space needed for that one step by 10 times. 10. That's like getting an entire football field of space back for every single production line. It's wild. And the energy savings? Whoa, even more staggering. Just ditching those giant industrial dryers cuts a factory's total energy bill by over 70%. That is a total game changer, and we haven't even gotten to the battery's performance yet. So this is the key thing to understand. Tesla's 4680 cell was never just about the battery itself. It was about revolutionizing the factory. And their big bet was on this completely different method called the dry battery electrode process. So let's put them side by side. On the left, you've got that old, messy, wet process. On the right, you have Tesla's dry battery electrode, or DBE. It is a radically different idea. Instead of a wet slurry, they just use a dry powder that gets pressed into a perfect film. No solvents, no ovens, no waiting around for stuff to dry. And the implications here are just enormous. You get those huge energy and space savings we just talked about, but on top of that, you can make the active parts, the electrodes, thicker and denser, which should give you a better battery. And the ultimate prize? A 50% cut in the cost to produce it. That is how you unlock electric cars for everybody. But, fixing the factory wasn't the only problem. See, a bigger battery cell creates more heat when you're using it, especially when you're charging it fast. So to handle all that extra power, Tesla also had to completely reinvent the physical design of the cell. This right here is the secret sauce, the all-tab or tabless design. A normal battery has this one tiny little metal tab where all the electricity has to squeeze through. It creates a bottleneck, a hot spot. Well, in the 4680, the entire edge of the battery's internal foils acts as the connection. It's like turning a tiny country lane into a massive, multi-lane superhighway for electrons. And the result? Way, way faster charging. By slashing that internal resistance, you can just pump energy in so much more quickly. The old battery took, 25-30 minutes for a good charge? The new one is already faster. But the real goal here is to get a 10 to 80% charge in about 15 minutes. Now that changes everything for a road trip. Okay, so if this tech is so brilliant, why did those first versions we saw fall short on energy density? Well, the answer is simple, really. Coming up with a genius idea in a lab, that's one thing. Mass producing it perfectly millions of times over, that is a whole different ballgame, and it has been incredibly hard. So here's the catch. A battery has two sides, right? A negative side, the anode, and a positive side, the cathode. Tesla figured out how to do the dry process for the anode pretty quick. But the dry cathode, man, that was a nightmare. It was unbelievably difficult to make at scale with good quality, which meant a lot of wasted material. So what's the game plan now? Well, the goal is to have that tricky cathode process totally perfected by 2026. But get this, they're not just making one type of battery. They're actually developing different versions for different cars, like a super long-lasting one for a future Robotaxi and a really high-performance one for their faster models. And that brings us to the final payoff. This whole project, it's been a massive, high-stakes gamble. Not just on a new product, but on fundamentally re-engineering the entire factory that builds it. There's this quote that just perfectly sums up the whole engineering philosophy here. By removing the solvent, they removed the cost. By removing the tab, they removed the heat. See? It's all about solving problems at the most basic fundamental level. And now, let's do the grand reveal. Remember that table from the beginning? Let's look at it again, but this time with the projections for the final 2026 cybercell. And this is where it all clicks into place. Energy density? Bam, a huge leap forward. Charging speed? Down to that magical 15 minutes. And the cost? Well, that's the biggest story of all. This right here, this is the number that changes everything. A 50% reduction in battery cost. That's not just a small improvement, it's a full-blown revolution. It's the key that unlocks electric cars that are cheaper than gas cars for everyone. This is the whole point. This is the end game. So what's the big takeaway here? The 4680 was never just about building a better battery. It was about building a better factory, one that can churn out batteries like a soda bottling plant. And if they actually pull this off, the rest of the auto industry has a really, really big problem. Which leaves us with one final thought. Can they ever catch up? Or is the game already over?